Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Modeling League Spike Magazine Trophy. We are at the top of week number 6 this evening. We've got a doubleheader for you tonight. We're going to get started with Entanglements versus the Fishy Fiends. Con Kill versus Ajax Imperial Nobility versus Chaos Renegades. There it is. Welcome to the stream. Demanding Death. Oh, I hope you get it tonight. All right, let's take a look at the standings before we take a look at the rosters of these two teams this evening. In Division A, currently in first place is one of the players of the second game of our doubleheader this evening, the NC Snakes, coached by Moob. They're a Dark Elf team. They are 4-0-0 in this competition, followed by Festoon's MAML Nightmare. They're in second place. They're a Necro team. They're 3-2-0. And the World of Cheese, coached by James Like Snacks. They're in third place. They're a Pro Elf team. They are 3-1-1. Over in Division B, we have the Pip Stars leading the pack. That's Dead Fred's Lizard team. They are 4-0-1 with the Believe Broncos, coached by BB Nut, the current Chaos Cup champion. They're a Nurgle team. They're in second place. They're 3-1-0. And the Remnants of Valor, coached by S. Beaver, in third place. They're a human team, and they are 3-1-1. And in Division C is where we're going to get started this evening. In first place, Old Gamer Mike's Goodest Boys Strike Back. They're a Necro team. They're 3-2-0 with Philosopher's Song in second place. That's Spire's Lizardman team. They are 3-0-1. And the Fishy Fiends are up tonight. They're in third place. That's Ajax's Chaos Renegades team. They're 2-1-1. The home team for this evening will be Entanglements. They have 12 on the roster. That brings their TV to 1,330,000 gold. They have 2 of their blitzers. They have all 4 bodyguards. They have a thrower and a bunch of linemen, 1 apothecary, 3 dedicated fans, and 3 rerolls. They're going to be up against the Renegades of the Fishy Fiends. They have, I think it's 12 on the roster, but they're down 2. Let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11 on the roster, but they're down 2. That means they're going to have to pick up 2 journeymen at 50,000 gold each. That's going to bring their TV up to 1,305,000 gold. That means they're going to pick up just 25,000 gold in petty cash in the inducement phase in this matchup. Not a whole lot to talk about there. They have the 3 big guys, the Minotaur, the Ogre, the Rat Ogre. They have an Orc, a Skaven, a Dark Elf. They have a Goblin as well, and they have 3 human linemen. The Skaven player out this week with an injury, and one of the human linemen out. This is the Pile Driver lineman. He's out with an injury as well. 1 apothecary, 2 dedicated fans, and 2 rerolls. How are these two teams going to play tonight? Well, this team right here, the visiting team, they are defined by these 3 big guys right here. The Minotaur, the Ogre, and the Rat Ogre. 2 of them have Frenzy. All of them have Mighty Blow. 2 of them have Block. One's a Blodger. Oh, man. This Rat Ogre, perhaps the most important on the roster, and that is because this Rat Ogre can be made to be reliable. Big guys often have a nega trait that makes them unreliable. Sargus in the Foul, as a Rat Ogre, that nega trait is going to be what's called Animal Savagery. So when this Rat Ogre activates, they have to roll a die. If it's a block or a blitz, it's a 2+ success. Otherwise, it's a 1 to 3. It has been, listen, it has been such a long week. You have no idea how chaotic this week has been. I have been losing my mind. Shout outs to all of my friends and family that have been very supportive of my nonsense. But anyway, this Rat Ogre, when they activate, if they fail that die roll, then they're going to lose their action unless they have a friendly piece, a friendly player adjacent to them that they can beat up on. If they can do that, they can beat up on that player and they can still activate. That makes this Rat Ogre very, very reliable. And when you're talking about Strength 5 with Block, with Frenzy, and with Mighty Blow, you are getting those dice to knock down a player, you are breaking armor, and you're removing players. This is a team, this is a bit of a kill team, I would say. Lots of block on this roster, lots of strength, lots of skills to remove players. But it can be a little tricky carrying the ball, and that's because the positionals all hate each other. They have animosity toward everyone else. So if any of these players are handling the ball and they want to give it to another player, they have to roll a d6. On a 1, they refuse to give that ball to someone else, whether it's a pass or a handoff, and they say, no, it's my ball, I don't like you. And we've seen that burn teams in the past. The Ogre, also another piece to look out for here. This Renegade Ogre has Throw Teammate. The Goblin, of course, Murghul, the Mad, number 16, has the right stuff, and that means that Ogre can chuck that goblin down pitch for a touchdown. That could also be like an emergency ballistic goblin as well. So there's a number of options there for the Fishy Fiends. But their job today is just going to be to remove players. I shouldn't say just, but it's going to be to remove players. Entanglements, on the other hand, they're a control team. All these linemen, they have fend. What do we mean by control? We mean this team can position their players in such a way that it's difficult to move them away or to break them apart or to shove them to one side. So for the line, and that in turn means you get to keep your formation intact and control sections of the pitch. These linemen, they have fend. If they get blocked, you can't follow up when you block them down. These bodyguards, they have stand firm. When they get blocked, you can't push them out of the way. So it's very easy for this team to set up their players so they can control big chunks of the pitch. And when you control chunks of the pitch, you're controlling your options for movement, right? If I control center pitch, I can go forward, I can go to the left, I can go to the right, I can go to either side, I can retreat if I want to. And this gives you lots of options for movement. It also allows you to keep your formation intact, which means so long as you have good positioning, it can be very, very difficult for a team like this Chaos Renegades team to really get on your ball carrier. Frenzy doesn't sort of negate that fend skill, so that Frenzy player isn't going to be able to follow up and try to break up your formation. And so if you could play a control team very well, and to be honest, I find it very difficult to do, but if you can play them very well, it can be very difficult for a team to get in on your ball carrier or to break through your defense. It can be a real nuisance when you get a push on a bodyguard and they stay right where they are, right? You're trying to clear a player to reposition them for the blitz, or you're trying to clear the ball carrier, and now suddenly you're looking at a 3+ dodge. It can be very, very tricky. 2 of the bodyguards have the block skill. That means they're going to be lending assists even if they're marked. These blitzers are very, very important pieces as well. MA7, they don't have any control skills, but they are the catchers on this roster as well as the blitzers, so they come with the block skill. They have dodge, so they're both these players are blodgers. One has sidestep, one has jump up. Very fast pieces, very easy to score with these pieces. You can see they're both level 3, and they both have 9 SPP. It can be very easy for them to suck up your SPP, but I mean, they're just so good. Pair that with the thrower, and now you have the pass skill for the free reroll. You have running pass. Lots of options for an Imperial Nobility team to move this ball after securing a section of the pitch. The running game is always a factor. The passing game is a factor for this matchup, or for this team as well, as they have that thrower. Running pass, don't sleep on that skill, right? With running pass, typically when you pass, once you pass, your action is done. But with running pass, if it's a quick pass, their action's not done. So they can throw that pass, then they can lend the assist, or they can get in a position to protect the ball carrier, or any myriad of things. So they can reposition this player, which positioning for a control team is very, very important. So, and on the ball, of course, is a great skill that we've talked about time and time again, where you get the 3 free movement on a kickoff or on a pass. So entanglements, they need to be able to control the pitch, and to do that, they've got to have players that are alive. So that positioning is sort of doubly tricky for this team, but if they can pull it off, I think they can. I think on paper, anyway, they're the winners of tonight's matchup. If they find themselves in a tricky spot where they start to lose a couple of players, now they're down 3 players, 4 players, their formation is going to start to crumble. These Imperial teams, when these players that can control the pitch, they don't have a lot left going for them, and you've got to rely on fundamentals, but you don't really have skills that other coaches would have on their teams that are of like TV, right? Like your money is all tied up in fend and stand firm. That's on that initial hiring cost on these players. So in order to keep them alive, those bodyguards with guard are going to be a real key factor. They're going to have to be positioned in such a way that it's going to incentivize the opposing team to take a different block, or maybe go in heavier on a block. And if you go in heavier on a block, you're putting more players into that block, right? You say, all right, well, he's got guard. That means I need another point of strength. So I'm going to put another guy in there. And now maybe a two-player block, a blocker and an assist, maybe that's a 3 or 4 player block. And now that's 4 players or 3 players that are tied up on that one block, and you can counter that. You say, all right, all of his guys over here, I'm going to mark them out of the drive. I'm going to move in the other direction. Entanglements wins the coin toss here. They're going to choose to be on offense. Electric Man and Dead Freddy, welcome to the stream. Fishy Fiends currently ranked 4th all season in terms of league points. Have a fantastic showing so far. There's still one more open competition after the Spike Magazine Trophy as well before we head into the Blood Bowl at the end of the season. Entanglements not so bad at all. Currently ranked 12th. Having a pretty good showing themselves. Anchor formation here for the Fishy Fiends. Giving up the wide zones to Entanglements. Entanglements set up their offensive formation now. The Imperial thrower here, Charles Windsor, will be back to receive with that sure hand skill. Sure hand says when you try to pick up the ball off the ground, if you fail that pickup, you get a free reroll. So there's this new Pac-Man game out. Hear me out. Hear me out. I know I just said Pac-Man, but it's not Pac-Man. I mean, it is Pac-Man, but it's like Metroid with Pac-Man that's evil. And I've been loving it. I loved it so much, or I've been enjoying it so much, I went and bought Pac-Man Museum Plus, and now I'm like, I'm going to say it. You know exactly what I'm going to say, but I have Pac-Man fever. Yeah, it's called Shadow Labyrinth. It's awesome. Here's the kick. On the ball. He's going to try to get under the ball here. It's going to be a 4+ pickup. Oh, we've got cheering fans. And Bad Habits is the prayer to Nuffle. Oh, no. Oh, no. Who got it? Who got it? The Fishy Fiends are going to get some loaners. And it's going to be number 12. Number 13. Oh, it's all linemen. Ajax probably happy about that, all things considered. So 3 linemen for the drive are now loners, but they're not a loner +4. They're a loner 2+. So if they need to spend a team reroll, they've got to roll a d6 first. On a 2+, they're allowed to actually use it. Otherwise, they lose it. Moop said they didn't have a lot of players to choose from with how many loners they already had. Fair enough. Fair enough. They have the big guys who are typically loners. They have the journeymen as well. All right, 2 players downfield over in the left wide zone. Looks to be setting up a cage here, and it's going to go real aggressive and cross the line of scrimmage here on turn number 1. Three plus pickup works out. Moving the ball up to the 10-yard line. I thought for sure with this structure over here, he was going to hand off. So looking to encircle the defense here and just try to keep them right here. Keep them at bay at center pitch. These big guys, of course, we've talked about them. They're kind of the stars of the show here, and that Rat Ogre, very, very important. So you can see that Ajax has positioned that Rat Ogre off the line of scrimmage and into that middle linebacker position so that he can get that Rat Ogre to where he needs to be. He doesn't want that Rat Ogre tied up on the line. He wants to be able to take that blitz. Yeah, Shadow Labyrinth. I can't even explain it, but like you're like someone, there's like mysterious stuff. You're like someone, you wake up, like Pac-Man wakes you up, but it's like an evil Pac-Man, and like one of the first things you do is like eat someone. It's very intriguing. Pushed by the Minotaur on the left side of the line here. But like, so it plays like Metroid, except it like, I don't even know how to explain it. So imagine the Samus, like the ball, the Metroid ball, but when you do that, you're Pac-Man, and then you start like moving like Pac-Man, like around edges of the map and stuff. I've been having a blast with it. Rat Ogre Blitz, 2-die Blitz gets a push into a frenzy follow-up coming up. Get another 2 dice on Cole Carrick Ben Jr., the rookie lineman. Oh, I'm sorry. I just talked about this in the pregame. No, he won't, because the lineman has fend. Can't follow up. Repositions on the rush to take a mark on the ball carrier. So this Rat Ogre, of course, as you can see, has that prehensile tail. That means dodges are going to be a -1. Old Gamer Mike says fend is a pain. Yes, it is. I just played this team last week, and it was a pain. 2-die block over in the right wide zone. Double pals here against Ali Sheepbend. Ali Sheepbend will stand firm, gets knocked to the ground, no armor break. Fishy Fiends on the bonus clock currently. You get 7 minutes, 30 seconds in bonus time. So if you run out of time on the clock for the turn, you get 2 minutes. You can dip into that 7-minute, 30-second bonus time for the duration of the game. 2-die block against Winter Gus, the rookie lineman in the left wide zone. He's going to get knocked down. He'll use fend, so there can't be a follow-up here. 8+ is going to break armor on these linemen. They're pretty brittle. Electric Space says, that ogre looks like yours. Boneheaded. Maybe just all ogres don't know what to do against... Oh, against an Imperial team. Well done. Good removal here. 1-man player advantage for the Fishy Fiends. Turn 2 coming up for Entanglements. Got the knockdown on the final block of the turn here. Two-die block to get things started for Entanglements. They're going to get a POW out of this against the Journeyman. No armor break. So Entanglements moving forward in either wide zone. They were given the wide zones. They said, thank you very much, we'll take it. And now they have some movement options here, but they are marked by a couple of Renegades pieces. They're marked by Darth Pointy Pony, the Dark Elf, and the Rat Ogre, of course. And again, that Rat Ogre is going to make a dodge a -1. Blitz on Darth Pointy Pony gets a push. Darth Pointy Pony, a blodger. Only a POW will knock down the player. Boy, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by the action order here. It is Sarkis in the Foul is a blodger, so very hard to knock down that Rat Ogre, but decided to take that the blitz on Darth Pointy Pony to remove the assist to make that a 1-die against the Rat Ogre. Only got a push out of it, but good action order here by Con Kill. Still marked by the Rat Ogre. With that push, I think that means the thrower might be moving to the right side. No, moving to the left side. Good dodge. 50-50 dodge. Going to pass the ball. Good reception. What a pass. 50-50 dodge. 50-50 catch works out. Or 50-50 pass works out. And now Pat Cloverhitch takes off down to the 20-yard line. Tizzle Bizzle, welcome to the stream. Tizzle Bizzle says, the Rat Ogre is a blodger? That's blasphemy. That's got to be illegal. Good dodge over to the left side. Passes downfield to a blitzer. Good reception. Very well done. I think this is another day where I'm going to have ice cream for dinner. I had ice cream for lunch the other day, and now I'm going to have ice cream for dinner because I am a child. 1 minute down on the bonus clock for Entanglements. They have 6:27 remaining. B.1234, welcome to the stream. Ice cream for lunch. Yep. I had I had mint chocolate chip ice cream for lunch. I think that was on Tuesday. Wow! Good jump over by Michael Bolin. Trying to mark out any player that could be a real threat. Very well done. Turn number 2 for the Fishy Fiends. Moop says, I'm going to have pizza rolls because I'm an adult and I can do whatever I want. You know, you're right. You can do whatever you want. Ollie Sheepman probably stands firm here. Yep. So that push result basically did nothing. That's another control skill. These stand firm on the bodyguards. Boy, I am telling you, I think we figured out that ogres have no idea what to do against Imperial nobility. You know what it is? The helmets are really shiny, and they just stare. They're just like, ooh, shiny head. And then they don't know what to do. 2-die block against Michael Bolin. Gets a dodge push out of this. I went to there's a new game store. I've talked before about how, you know, we're really lucky around here to have some great game stores and tabletop stores and video game stores and comic stores. A new tabletop store just opened up around my way, and we checked it out yesterday. And I ended up I went in there, and they had, so I like. As I've also talked about, good removal. You're going to see more of that as this game goes on. I talked about how I'm a big fan of fighting games, and I like fighting board games as well. And I saw one. That's a good. You give that doctor a raise. You've always got to reward your apothecary when he saves one of your players. And there was a new one for Grand Blue, right? Grand Blue Fantasy. And I was like, oh, this is neat. And I bought it. And it was like $40 for a starter box and like $80 for like, I haven't even opened it yet. I don't know how it works. But the point of the story is I bought it and I was like, I'll buy it. And then as we were leaving, I discovered there's 2 starter boxes. So I was like, oh man, there's another starter box. And one of my friends was just like, he's like, just get it. It's too late. You're already in. Just get it. So I got it. But I'm excited to play it. It looks neat. The way the store staff described it to me was it was Final Fantasy Tactics as a board game, which sounds really intriguing. I don't know how that translates into fighting, but it looks cool. It looks neat. Anyhow, turn 3 for Entanglements. They can score right now if they wish. The number 4 Journeyman threatening right behind them. They are going to stall this out for... No, they're not. They're just showing off. I thought they were moving to center pitch to stall this out. Nope. They're going to score 1-0 on the early score. Entanglements takes the lead in this ball game. Old Gamer Mike says these imps are hard to work with. They have so many skills. Imperial Nobility team setting up columns against Chaos Renegade teams. That's surprising to me. So they're setting up the columns, screening out the pitch against the Chaos Renegades team. Should be 11v11. Indeed it is. Three on the line for the defense. Packed tightly there at midfield. All 3 big guys on the line currently. I don't know if the Rat Ogre is going to stay on the line. Murgle the Mad takes to the pitch here. This is the Goblin. Remember, the Goblin can be tossed by the Ogre. It's a pass. The Ogre, it's throw teammate, but it works like a pass. but the ogre can only throw up. Oh, another prayer to Nuffle. Intensive training. Oh man, who won this one? Entanglements wins the intensive training, so they're going to get a skill and somebody who does not have the loner trait. Dead Freddy says, awfully quick score. That was a very, very quick score. So the danger with this is that Entanglements were on offense. They have scored. They're now giving the Chaos Renegades 6 turns to score in the first half. If they can do it on turn 8, it'll be 1-1 at the half. Then to start the second half of this game, the Chaos Renegades team is going to have the ball again. And so they're going to potentially control this ball for the rest of the game. And if so, they could win this 2-1. Ball kicked very short here and into the hands of the number 5 Journeyman, now on the 2-yard line. So very shallow kick. They're going to have to defend it right out of the gate. Well, maybe not. They do have Darth Pointy Pony who could pick it up and retreat, but it looks like he'll be setting up a cage here, or at least trying to control the left wide zone. So just like control can work on offense, it can work just the same way for them on defense. It can be real hard to crack through this defense when you can't push them aside, especially when you're a team that has so much frenzy, right? Norse teams hate this. Chaos Renegades hate this. You can't really leverage frenzy to start pushing people out of position. So the Rat Ogres did stay on the line. Got a knockdown on the right defensive end. Didn't get an armor break now. Festoon the Barnacled with a knockdown on the Curse. But no armor break. Minotaur has a nega trait. What is it called? Unchanneled Fury? Yeah, Unchanneled Fury. So this nega trait, the way it works is before they take their turn, they have to roll a d6. If they're blocking or blitzing, they succeed on a 2+. Otherwise, it's a 4+. If they fail, they lose their turn. They don't lose their tackle zones, but they lose their turn. And so the Minotaur can be difficult to reposition, right? If the Minotaur gets left behind, in order to activate, it's a 50-50 from then on. Unless you're just going to waste your blitz on a movement on the Minotaur, but rarely do you see that happen. Both down result on the line will be turn 4 for Entanglements. Whoa, 4+ dodge to start the turn. Spent a reroll there. 4+ to a 3+ keeps the turn alive. B.1234 says, watching your stream while playing WoW. That's cool. Cool to hear. Risky action to start the turn with. We talk about action order in this game. You have 11 players typically on the pitch to activate. If you fail a die roll in this game, usually most die rolls, if they fail, will result in a turnover. It means your turn is over. It's not the American football term that means the ball's been given up to the opponent. And so if you start with a really risky action and you fail, you've only activated one person. And you've lost out on doing anything with your other 10 players. But if you do a really safe action first, then you have greater odds of then getting a second action, and then a third, and then a fourth. So you want to take your least risky actions first and your more risky actions later in your turn in order to ensure you're activating all your players and getting as much action economy as you can. A little bit of repositioning by Entanglements will be turn 4 for the Fishy Fiends. Final turn of the first quarter coming up here. Fishy Fiends have the ball on their own 6-yard line. Tizzlebizzle says, yes, order of operations is key. Two-die block on the line here against the Curse. Yvonne Cross-Stitch. Got to get a knockdown here thanks to the block skill. Looking for an 8+ to break armor. And if he does break armor... Oh, he's got wrestle. He's got wrestle. I was like, why choose that? because of wrestle. So wrestle says if there's a both down result, then both players go down, but there's no armor break and there's no turnover. Mediocre greatness says it was a misclick. I was sweating. It's happened to the best of us. B.1234 says, "Where is Pac-Man?" Like the game? It's called Shadow Labyrinth. I bought it on the Switch 2, but I think it's on everything. 2-die block in the right wide zone gets a push. The style looks like Salt and Sanctuary, but it's a legitimate Pac-Man game, but actually Metroid, and Pac-Man's evil. It actually reignited my interest in. There were these. Yeah, I am not making any of that up. 3-die block by the Rat Ogre, got the power here. 8+ will break armor on Town's Square Knot with Mighty Blow. Waiting for the pushback, push decision here. Gets the knockdown. He has to follow up with Frenzy. Frenzy it's one of the few skills that is non-optional. If you block someone with Frenzy, you must follow up. There were a couple of graphic adventure Pac-Man games on the Super Nintendo. It's sort of reignited my interest in giving those a go. Stand-up blitz by the Minotaur. Got the POW here. Good action order by Ajax here, understanding how to use these big guys. The Minotaur, you can reposition that Minotaur really only successfully on a block or a blitz. Remember, it's a 4+ to activate if he's not blocking or blitzing with the Minotaur. Yeah, so that way it was a 2+. Not only does he get the block, he can reposition that Minotaur, and now the ball's going to move up to the 4-yard line. And then there's a Pac-Man Museum Plus that I bought on the Switch 2, which has like a bunch of classic Pac-Man games. I'm not like a super big Pac-Man fan, but I'm just I'm so intrigued by Shadow Labyrinth. Conspicuously, the museum does not have Miss Pac-Man, because Miss Pac-Man was like not made by Namco. I think it might have been made by Bally Midway, but there's a licensing thing where Namco doesn't actually have the rights to Miss Pac-Man. 2-die block on the number 4 Journeyman here gets a knockdown. Spire says, having played these imps, his defense can be smothering. Yep. I just played them last week. Yes, it can. Absolutely. Some more repositioning here by the Imperial Nobility team, just keeping that defensive formation in check. It can, again, like we talked about in the pregame, it can be so hard to break through it. You don't have the tools you're accustomed to. "45 seconds on the clock here for Entanglements at the top of the second quarter. So look at this dance that he's doing, right? He's set up in columns to start the oh no. Oh, I thought that was double skulls. It was he set up in columns to start the drive. And he's just been keeping this formation in check, right? He's been keeping it in check. He says, "If you want to break through me, come get me, bro." And when pitch has been given up, he advances forward a little bit. He says, "All right, if you're going to give that up, I'll control this section over here. You know what? If you're going to give up some more pitch, I'll take a little bit of that portion of the field away from you as well." Playing it very cool, keeping the defense in check. Understands he's in the lead right now, 1-0. Failed boneheaded roll by the Ogre. That Ogre has to roll a d6 before activating on a 1. That now a failed Animal Savagery roll. So the Rat Ogre is going to beat up a friendly. Doesn't break armor, but can still activate here. double pals on Town Square now, looking for an 8+ with Mighty Blow. The human, not the human ogre, but the ogre, the nega trait with Boneheaded. You roll a d6 before activating. If you roll a 1, not only do you lose your action, you lose your tackle zones. So this ogre right now, not exerting any tackle zones. Blitz up with the Minotaur 3-die blitz. This is another thing that Ajax is so good at. Strength 5 pieces, it's quote unquote easy to get the 3-die block, right? Because you've got a strength 5 versus a standard strength of 3. That would mean 2 assists would get you a 3-die block, but it can be very like 2 assists is a big ask sometimes, and so you need to look for more efficient ways to get these dice. And you can see what Ajax does. Like, all right, the Minotaur. Really, the only way I can reliably make the Minotaur mobile is on a block or a blitz. I'm going to spend the blitz. 5v3, that's a 2-die block, but I have horns. Horns gives me +1 strength on a blitz, so now I'm 6v3. Now I just need the 1 assist for the 3-die block, and there it is right there. Just does an excellent job of getting the 3-die blocks with the big guys every single turn. Now crosses the line of scrimmage with Darth Pointy Pony on the opposing 2-yard line. Turn 7 now for Entanglements. Mr. Rocker Crocker, welcome to the stream. He says, got here after the last touchdown. What's even the points? I read that. I read that as like a general statement on existence. Like, hey guys, just got here. Traffic was terrible. What even is the point? Oh, hey guys, pizza just arrived. What even is the point? Minute 12 to go here in turn 6. That's where my headspace is right now. Peanut says, pizza where? I have frozen pizzas in the freezer. Two-die blitz coming up. Gets the knockdown on Bad Luck. The level 3 lineman with tackle and block. Tackle negates the dodge skill. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, I went to get gas and buy drinks, chips, and desserts for Hookie Bowl / Beach Bowl tomorrow. I wish you much fun. Electric Smith says they are under the ice cream that is for dinner. They might actually be under the ice cream. B.1234 says, funny thing is I was just given a pizza stone. That's cool. That's good. The pizza stone? That's good. Don't put the ice cream in the oven with the pizza stone. That's just going to melt the ice cream. Two-die blocks of both standing result over in the right wide zone. No, the pizza's frozen, sadly. Two-die block over in the left wide zone here gets a push result. This is against the number 5 Journeyman. Journeymen are, so you must start a game with 11 players. If you cannot field 11, you have to hire Journeymen. They do count against your TV. A Journeyman is just your standard level 1 lineman with the loner trait. So these are loner 4+, so that's a 50-50 on being able to use a team reroll or not. Turn 6 for the Fishy Fiends. Coming up in 30 minutes, we're going to have our second game of the doubleheader this evening. And that's going to be against, that's going to be between the NC Snakes and the Tizzork Savage Boys. Move versus Tizzle Bizzle. That's going to be Dark Elves versus Orcs. That'll be a fun one. That's coming up in 29 minutes from now. 29 minutes from now. I have been absolutely. Oh, Moop says we're going to start when this game finishes. Fair enough. I've been absolutely out of my mind for the past two weeks. And like today, I got a bit of good news. Like not like super good news, just normal good news. And I felt like my face get flush, like just a release of adrenaline. 2-dive block against Town Square Knot. Gets the knockdown here. There's another removal. Very well done. Permanent removal on the casualty. Gets 2 SPP out of that. Dead Freddy says chance to break through the center. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, I think they're all of our minutes, not just yours. Oh, well, all right, I guess. $18 seconds left on the clock here for the Fishy Fiends. They're down a touchdown right now. They're on the opposing 2-yard line. They have the ball in the hands of their fastest player, Darth Pointy Pony, the MA6 Renegade Dark Elf. Well, fastest player tonight. They typically have a Skaven player on their roster as well. That's right, you share those minutes, Ava. Didn't Mama Ava ever teach you to share? I don't actually think so. Like, I don't remember any lesson about sharing. Failed dodge. I'm sorry, failed rush spends a reroll here. One of the 2 rerolls spent to stay on their feet, and now Darth Pointy Pony on the opposing 6-yard line, but off to the left of the pitch here, just outside the left sideline. Or it's left wide zone, rather. 2-dive block against Bull Noose, gets a knockdown. Bull Noose with that prayer to Nuffle tackle skill. Tackle negates the dodge skill. Dodge does a lot for you. It's a great skill in this game. One of the best skills in the game. It allows you to reroll a failed dodge. It also keeps you safe on a defender stumbles result on a block. But if your opponent has tackle, you lose access to that dodge skill. If a marking opponent has tackle, that is. Turn 7 now for the Entanglements. 2 turns to stop a score here by the Chaos Renegades, and they'll have to do it all over again in the second half. Big Strength 5 Ogre in the front right corner of this Imperial Cage. 50-50 dodge. Yeah, succeeds on the 4+, always fails on the rush. Spends a reroll here to get a mark on Murghul the Mad, number 16 Goblin on the front left corner of the cage. 1 reroll left for both teams here in the first half. Another big dodge here, 3+ dodge to reposition. Ollie Sheetben, the number 3 bodyguard, stands right in front of that ogre. Two-dive block over the right side there. You can see that foul appearance roll. That was a 2+. That was with the belching sound effect, right? Every time you block somebody with foul appearance, you roll a d6. And if you roll a 1, you are so disgusted by their appearance, you don't touch them. That can be very annoying on a block. It can be devastating on a blitz because you have to declare your blitz first. You declare the blitz, you fail the foul appearance roll, and you only get 1 blitz a turn, and now you've lost your blitz, which is often used as a critical action to either open up a lane or shore something up or apply some pressure. Entanglements back on the bonus clock once again. They're down to 5 minutes 15 seconds. 1 die on Darth Pointy Pony's a skull. The final reroll is spent. Got the POW on the blodger. 9+ breaks armor. No armor break. And the ball's going to bounce out of the hands of the blodger Dark Elf. Now on the Imperial Nobility 8-yard line. You had to fail one sometime. Tried to dodge away after that ball and knocked himself out after tripping. I mean, look, there's big gaps in these stones. It's very easy to trip over those. Spent the final reroll here to get the pal. Needed the pal to knock down the player. Another removal on the Imperial team here. Four off the pitch for Entanglements. Fishy Fiends have access to this ball right now. Minute 4 left in turn number 7. The Fishy Fiends trying to figure out how to secure this ball and score. Here's the 2-die blitz by the Rat Ogre. Gets the... Oh, no, he's going to take a push. Why was that a both standing? Oh, because I keep thinking this is wrestle. Oh, it is wrestle. What just happened? Did he elect not to use wrestle? Oh, he pushed. I get it. He pushed, and then he stood firm. I see. Going to attempt the 2+ pickup. And gets this ball down to the 14-yard line on the rush. Well done, Darth Pony. Currently in scoring position. No rushes required for turn 8. Failed 3+ dodge over in the left wide zone. Free reroll with the dodge skill. We just talked about that and fills in the front right corner of the cage. Very well done by Ajax. Tried to block with the Minotaur, failed that unchanneled fury roll, so he's just gonna stand there steaming mad. He's just, I don't like you. Turn 8 for Entanglements. Can they stop this score? Most of the team behind the ball right now. I think he's gonna have to rush Michael Bolin. Oh, no, he doesn't need a rush. Being in the middle of the field here. Being in the middle of the field right here with options to move left or right means that the defense has that much more pitch that they have to cover. It's that much harder to stop a score. And that's because in this game, intuitively, you know that diagonals are longer, but that's not true in this game, right? A square is a square. So even though physically this is a longer distance than this, right? You can intuit, you're like, oh, that's further away. He can't get there. But yes, he can. He absolutely can. This is just as far away. This is just as far away as this. So you have a wider section of the pitch that you have to cover on defense, and it makes it that much more difficult to do so. $15 seconds left in turn 8 for Entanglements. We're just gonna try their hardest to stop the score, but they get a turnover on the blitz here. Final turn of the first half. Telestrator of Doom, that's right. Final turn of the first half coming up. Can the Fishy Fiends get into the end zone? No! No! Not the time to be boneheaded, Festoon. You need to pay attention. Tizzle Bizzle demanding death. Moves a player into position for the blitz by the Rat Ogre. There it is. 2-die blitz. That's all he needed. Got the knockdown. Well done. That's going to be a 1-1 half. He repositioned the Rat Ogre, but then he's good to go. There it is. Very well done by Ajax to get on the board. They'll have the ball for the second half of this game as well. The Fishy Fiends are going to try to pull out a 2-1 grind victory. That's true. That's true. He does need a run. Oh, I thought he was actually in position. Oh, because he has one lateral movement. Because the ogre boneheaded. That's why. Yeah. There it is. No big deal. No big deal. 1-1. At the end of the first half. Well done. Hey, let's go. Let's go. You're spilling the beer. Look, it's cool that you're dancing and all, but will you watch the alcohol? Look at that. There's going to be none left. Electric Man says, what happened to the 900%? Another screen. Oh, no. Is it 8v11? I think it is. 4, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so the Fishy Fiends with a 3-man player advantage. This is, I would say this is where they expected to be here in the second half, but not sure they expected to be in a tie ball game situation. So right now, they're in pretty good shape. There's 3 less players to worry about on the pitch. Here's the kick. Brilliant coaching. That's going to go to Entanglements. They're going to earn their 4th reroll here. They have 4 rerolls left for the game, just the 2 for the Fishy Fiends. Ball kicked to the 16-yard line just inside the right wide zone. Turn 9 underway now with a massive 9 players on this offensive line. And another, I'm telling you, man, those helmets are really shiny. It's difficult for the Ogres to concentrate. 3-die block over in the right wide zone. Gets a push here. It'll be a frenzy follow-up with Sargus in the foul. No, it won't, because of Fend. One day I'll learn. 1-die block here against Priscilla Presnott. Gets the knockdown. Now 3-die against Henry Rolling Hitch. Gets a push out of this. One more block to take on the line. Blitz still available. But the blitz won't be with a big guy. It'll almost certainly be with one of the block players. Dead Freddy says those KO rolls were big. They were big. They were big. 3+ pickup does not work out. Spends the reroll with sure hands. Works out the second time. Moves the ball up to the 12-yard line. Two-die block on the left side of the line here. Gets a POW against Floyd Trucker Hitch. Looking for an 8+ to break armor. This is the journeyman on the block. Did break armor. Got the removal. That is good news for the Fishy Fiends. They now have a 4-man player advantage. 11v7 on the pitch. And here's the blitz. The 2-die blitz. It's going to be another knockdown here. Can he get the 8+? Nutters the Brind. The number 6 Orc on the block. No armor break. Turn 9 for Entanglements. Pressure being applied by the defense. The number 1 blitzer, Pat Cloverhitch, crosses the line of scrimmage, applying pressure on the left side, trying to force this offense to the right. 2-die blitz against Burgle the Mad. Spends a reroll here, wants to get the knockdown and the removal. 8+ will break armor here. Would have been a dodge push, but has that tackle skill thanks to Nuffle. There's the armor break. Got the removal. Well done. Back to a 3-man player advantage now for Entanglements. Not Entanglements. The Fishy Fiends. That's the name of the team. That's the name of the team. Typical cautious defense here by Con Kill has been paying off in spades so far, I think. Wasn't able to stop the score in the first half of this game, but Fishy Fiends had a tough time trying to break through. They're going to try to do it again here. But now the big difference is the Imperial Nobility team is down a number of players. A number of players. Oh no. Are they down to 5? They can't be down to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're down to 6. 10v6 on the pitch now. 4-man player advantage. So now it's boy, this is what we were talking about in the pregame as well. It just when your shtick is pitch control and you lose a bunch of players, it's so much harder to control the pitch. Ball's going to move across the line of scrimmage. It's in the hands of Black Wolf of the Deep. This is the level 3 human lineman. Has sure hands and has fend. I don't know how Entanglements... They've... Oh, boy. With so few players, the problem is so few players, you're up against a team that has a lot of strength that can field 3 big guys. So cracking that is difficult. Unless Ajax just makes an error. And then, like, boneheads the Ogre when he didn't need to activate him or something like that. So you've got to dedicate a lot of resources to it. And then you still got to recover the ball. Mediocre greatness says failed KO recovery has been the story of this competition for the Entanglements. Yeah, it's sometimes Nuffle has it out for you. Turn 10 now for Entanglements. Mediocre greatness says Nuffle's been kind in other areas. What is that? What? I imagine you said that as, well, you know, I'm just saying Nuffle's been kind in other areas. Know what I mean? Here's the blitz. 1-die blitz against Winter Gust. Gets a push here. Has a mark on the ball. Honestly, I don't know what else you do. Has a mark on the ball. It's going to pray to Nuffle a little bit. Michael Boland's going to reposition out of the right wide zone. Back into the safety position. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I would keep my relationship with Nuffle as platonic as possible. It's just business, all right? Failed the 50-50 dodge here over in the right wide zone. Spends a team reroll to make it a 75% dodge, but fails the dodge. Charles Windsor's not going to be able to get away. Turn 11 now for the Fishy Fiends. That was a 50-50 due to the prehensile tail and the Rat Ogre. Oh no! Praying to Nuffle seems to be working out! Double skulls against Pat Cloverhitch, who was marking the ball carrier. Spends a reroll to get a push out of this. That clears the ball carrier. But the Fishy Fiends are down to 1 reroll for the game. Dead Freddy says, only Nuffle can save the imps now, quad skulls and the like. But you're saying that as a devout follower of Nuffle. Listen, only Nuffle can save you. Hand the keys over to Nuffle. 2-9 Blitz gets a knockdown here. Looking for an 8+ with Mighty Blow. Oh, he took the push. He took the push. Now he'll get the knockdown. There it is. Well done. And the player count keeps climbing. Mr. Rocker Cracker says, but are nobility willing to sacrifice the princess to please Nuffle? The murder and mayhem continues. Where are we at here? 5 to 10, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5-man player advantage. I think it comes down to Nuffle at this point. Gets the knockdown here. No armor break. Now the Fishy Fiends can just group up, get their assists, get their blocks, and just try to murder the rest of the Imperial Nobility team. The Imperial Nobility team, if they want a win or a draw out of this, they're going to have to make huge plays at this point. Now, it's a very critical strategic decision to make. BB, not welcome to the stream. Very critical strategic decision to make at this point. Are you going to play for that draw or perhaps that win? Or are you going to try to keep your team safe and healthy for next week? Again, coming up right after this game, we're going to have the second game of our doubleheader this evening. It'll be the NC Snakes versus the Tizorc Savage Boys. Moob versus Tizzle Bizzle. That's going to be Dark Elves versus Orcs. Adge versus Bash. One die block against Winter Gus gets a push. Pat Cloverhitch on the block here. The Rat Ogre putting in a ton of work in this game tonight, much as the Rat Ogre tends to do. Loop says, so much guard and Mighty Blow on the Orcs, it's intimidating. I haven't looked at the rosters yet. Skull here against Badlock. Just going to eat the Skull, and that'll be a turnover. Skull on the Blitz, that is. Turn 12 now for the Fishy Fiends. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, I was explaining that to my new protege in League play. You sometimes take a loss one week to be better off the following week. In Resurrection, you always go for broke because it can't cost you the next game. Yes, indeed, I agree. Oh, Sargus in the foul. Beats up on the journeyman. That's just rude. Dodge push into a frenzy follow-up into another push. Michael Bolin has the sidestep skill. He's just gonna dance around the Rat Ogre. Is that right? He has succeeded 15 of 15 rushes? Get out of here. Get out of here. 2-9 Blitz on Michael Bolin. Gets a knockdown here thanks to the tackle skill. Looking for a 9+ to break armor. Electric Man says, I take losses every week. I should be amazing. that's been me for the past 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure I'm annoying my friends at this point. I'm just like, I'm a failure. I can't do anything right. Marking out Ollie Sheepman downfield here. Gonna move this ball, I think, up to the 12. There it is. BB says, don't talk to me about MAML and rushed. Maybe into 17 of 17 drunk rushes. Yeah, there was that. 17 of 17 Norse drunkard rushes. Mr. Rocker Crocker says, that said, if Oppo Stabs Us was here, he'd tell you about the time I got a casualty on his turn, but throwing the Black Oppo bomb back. that's always great when you can catch the bomb and toss it right back at the enemy or at the opponent. Final third of the third quarter coming up. Entanglements with so few players left on the pitch here. They have 5 left on the pitch. And they're still staying in the game. They're still fighting. I respect it. Front of the cage currently marked by Ollie Sheepman. And now the left side marked as well. One die blocked by Ollie Sheepman against Bad Luck. Gets a push. And now a mark on the ball carrier once more. Under a minute to play in the third quarter. Stand-up blitz by the thrower. One die blitz against Darth. Pointy Pony gets a push. Wow. Chain pushes Michael Bolin in to mark the ball carrier. Let's go. Let's go. Turn 13 for the Fishy Fiends. Fourth and final quarter begins. It's a tie ball game right now. The Fishy Fiends with 1 reroll remaining. No action here in 30 seconds for the Fishy Fiends. No doubt trying to figure out the safest way to get this ball down pitch. A number of marks on the ball carrier right now. 2 players marking the ball carrier. The left side of the cage marked as well. 2-die block against Michael Bolin. This is a sidestepper. So Michael Bolin will get to decide what space... Well, actually, I think it is one choice, right? Where's Bad Luck? Yeah. One choice here on the sidestep. Oh, no, he had 2 choices on the sidestep. It's Coach Stats. So Coach STATS, all one word. Yeah, maybe I should. I keep saying I'll add aliases, but I never do because I forget. Because I'm a failure at everything. I'm just kidding. Another dodge push here on Michael Bolin. Now 2-die block on Ollie Sheepman gets the POW. It's the Blood Bowl 3 coach name, so it would just be Moob. At least I think it's just Moob. Rather than their Twitch name. Yeah. Rat Ogre Blitz. 3-die blitz. It's a both standing result here on Michael Bolin. That's it. That did not result in a push, and so there is no frenzy follow-up. 3-die block with the Minotaur against Michael Bolin. Michael Bolin's going to get pushed aside. That is not a good sign. The Minotaur gets knocked to the ground on the frenzy follow-up. That'll be a turnover, turn 13 for Entanglements. Look, no losses. 5 left on the pitch here for Entanglements. Pat Cloverhitch blocking down the number 5 Journeyman. Gets a push out of this. Spends a reroll into the knockdown. And now it's going to mark the ball carrier once again. Or not. Gonna blitz the ball carrier on the 2-9 blitz. Got the POW on Black Wolf of the Deep. 9+ will break armor. This will be a huge armor break. Ball's gonna bounce right back to where it was. BB Nut asks, do you know the story of why I get called toxic now? I do not. Does it have something to do with Nurgle? By chance. Or is it the fact that you just, like, did you just, like, table, like, a new player or something? Turn 14 for the Fishy Fiends. Entanglements are fighting hard here to pull out a draw. I mean, there's still three turns left. They could potentially even win this game. Blitz of Michael Bolin. Dodge put. Oh no, it's a knockdown due to tackle. Mediocre greatness. Let's not get carried away. You've got to believe. As Parappa the Rapper would say, you got to believe. Sidesteps onto the ball here. We'll see where it ends up. Breaks armor. No. Bouncing around the Fiends players and pops the ball out on the Entanglement 6-yard line. BBNet says, so I was streaming a league game. I was Woodies against an Orc team with 4 to 5 Mighty Blow. So I Daka badly as he left a surf on turn 2, and I come forward to do it. Anyway, I score in his drive, and I dodged away to screen him off. He scores. He scores. I won turn to win. That's awesome. That's great. Why is that toxic? That's beautiful. Double skulls here on the left side. Just eats it. That's another turnover. Turn 14 back to Entanglements. Darth Pointy Pony, the Blodger, back in possession of this ball on the opposing 10-yard line. Entanglements have 3 turns to stop this score and perhaps even to win. They would have to put a player in scoring position on turn 15. I don't think they're going to do. They have so few players left on the pitch. I don't think they can risk not having one in the drive. Prank BB, welcome to the stream. Prank BB says, any tactical analysis of the pros and cons of dub skulls? Yeah, it's bad. Well, look. Here's the pros. If you have 2 skulls, that's double the protection for your brain, right? Like that's great. And look, 2 red skulls. I mean, that's 2 Marvel villains that you can do anything you want with. 55 seconds to go here, turn 14 for Entanglements. Failed the second dodge on the blitz in the left side here. Had to try something big. I absolutely respect the play, but it didn't work out. Stunned Pat Cloverhitch on the failed dodge. And now turn 15 for the Fishy Fiends. They just got to hold out for one more turn. 2-die block against Ali Sheetband gets the push. Well, look at Dead Freddy coming up with actual positives. There aren't any choices, so it protects your clock. And you can feel good about your opponent's... Whoa, 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 whoa. 2-die block in the left wide zone here, gets a knockdown. I think it's going to be a Rat Ogre Blitz. A. Rewind that lost point. Darth Pointy Pony is going to shift over in the left wide zone. Now on the 16-yard line. That's true. Pro, they can't use Mighty Blow against you. Double Skulls, Pro. Your turn took less time, so you can go back to what you were doing faster. Here's the Blitz. 2-die Blitz over on the right side against Charles Windsor. Got the POW. An 8+ will break armor with Mighty Blow. There it is. Gets a stun. Very good stun. Well, I mean, all these stuns are going to be great stuns at this point with so few players left on the pitch. Turn 15 for Entanglements. Let's see it. Let's go. Let's do it. I believe. I believe in the Imperial Nobility. Turn 15. No rerolls left for Entanglements. Few players left for Entanglements. They're down to 5 on the pitch. Is everybody prone? Everybody's on the ground. If they're going to stop the score, they've got to stop it right here. Michael Bolin stands up, the number 2 blitzer. Jump by Michael Bolin right onto his back. Turn 16 for the Fishy Fiends. They take the lead in the ballgame 2-1. Well done. Oh boy, I gotta tell you, Conkill really put up a fight there. That was very impressive. 1 turn left in this ballgame unless there's a timeout. And then there'll be 2 turns left. Hey, look, it's the cheerleader that can't keep the beer in the mugs. Oh, come on, Nuffle, come on. Just 1 knockout returns to the pitch. You know what? That wasn't Nuffle. That wasn't Nuffle. That was just the rest of these guys are like, you know what? No, I'm good. I'm good right where I am. Don't call me back out there, coach. Poop says, I'm not sure Nobility wants 2 turns right now. Have you no honor? They want to go for the gold, or I guess the bronze. Putting off opponents with hideously clashing colors. 3 wide on the line here for the Chaos Renegades team. 6 taken to the pitch for Entanglements. They're not going to be able to get in the end zone unless they get a timeout. Are they going to get it? On the ball is going to move the thrower up 3 spaces toward the ball. What's the kickoff? It's a quick snap. So they're not going to be able to score. This is going to end in a 2-1 victory. Fiends looking for some SPP in this final turn. Didn't get it on the first block on the right defensive end. Just got a push out of this. BBNet says a nobility 1 turn is possible. Is it? With the sidestepper? Two die on the right, on the left side rather, against the journeyman. Got the pal here, looking for a 9+ to break armor. Then needs the injury. Got it, but did not get the casualties are worth 2 SPP. SPP are the star player points, the experience points in the game of Blood Bowl. I'm probably sure you need 12 players. That's the blitz spent. A pass for some SPP will round out this game. Old Gamer Mike says, GG boot. There may be. I can't even pick up the ball. Charles Windsor, come on. And that'll be it. 2-1. The Fishy Fiends are the victors in this matchup. Very well done by both coaches. Great game played by both coaches. And I tell you, man, like watching a coach play when they are down and they have few players left, and seeing how creative they can get is so much fun. Very well played. Well played by Ajax, no doubt, but very well played by Conkel as well. That was a lot of fun to watch. C says, what a time turn up, managed to catch 20 seconds of turn 16. Well, you're in good news, because we have another game coming up in just a moment. With that, the Fishy Fiends are going to remain in second place here. They have a record of 3-1-1 here in week number 6. Congratulations to Ajax. All right, we're about to get game 2 underway here. I am going to take a minute, I think, to reset some stuff, and then we'll get game 2 started in just a moment here. Sit tight.